to read you the beginning of my story. I wrote this book last year and I published it in October. And it has to do with, I wrote it because I wanted to link together all of my different art pieces that all had like magical and mystical themes. And it seemed like just the thing to do, to write like a narrative story, like combining all of these different art pieces. And so this is the beginning of the book, right after the introduction. It goes day by day and night by night as this character, Sebastian, navigates his way through an enchanted land to break his spell and to help others break their spells. And so with that, we'll get started. I tried to remember my life before the storm, but it was a blur. More concerning was the loss of the vessel and all of my documents, not to mention my 6 crew members. Because of the fated love spell, Sebastian didn't remember anything before the storm. His mind had been perverted. He only thought of visions of her. Melody came to him in his dreams like hallucination. She became his secret. He couldn't talk about her because people would think him a lunatic. He wandered into town, realizing his predicament, his new reality, that he had no boat, no money, and no memory. This was the dangers of sirens and other magical beings. They strip you down to your core and make you feel isolated and desolate. Using that isolation to their advantage, they manipulate you into thinking that the love is real and that all you have is them. She needs me as I need her. We are in love. He found the foreman of the dock and asked if there was any missing shipments or missing ships. Chadwick at the docks was reluctant to give him any information, but nevertheless, after some pressure, he showed Seb the shipments that hadn't come in. A total of 5 different ships and roughly 35 people missing. The foreman wouldn't give him any names, so it wasn't really that helpful. Seb decided to move on. He asked the foreman for work, but Chadwick just glared at him, saying that they had all the help that he needed. It wasn't a far walk to the town square where he first heard flute music. There was an open market going on. Lots of merchants were trading and selling goods. Everyone seemed to be busy and on task and very efficient. It was jarring. He noticed that nobody ever paused or took breaks. He could smell delicious food being prepared somewhere, hissing steam in the distance. Realizing his hunger, he followed his nose to a local grill. At first, the gatekeeper wouldn't let him in because he looked rough from being on the water. He told the gatekeepers he was there for work. "Hi, I'm here for work and I'm ready to go. I don't have any paperwork yet." "Who are you? What are you doing here? This is my kitchen," the chef barked at him. "I'm Sebastian. I'm new in town. You can call me Seb." Seb lied to save his skin. Dazed and tired, but advocating for himself despite his circumstances. "I was hired to wash your dishes. I don't have any paperwork yet, but I'm ready to go." After a long day and night of being in a pit of dishes, with all kinds of smells, noises, and heat, he went to the manager and asked for payment. The manager paid him a little less than expected, just a few coins. He was happy to be able to do something, given his circumstances, and he got fed. He wandered back to the beach and sat down, pondering his future, his present, and watching the moon appear and rise. As he sat on the beach contemplating life, he tried to remember before the storm. His crew, the men who had become more like brothers than friends, his family and his homeland. The small sliver of moon was still low in the sky. He watched her rise and shrink for a while in his dazed, spellbound state. Then the moon came alive, swimming through the sky. She came down to meet him as an ethereal goddess, calming him from his anxieties and his contemplative confusion. She reassured him that he would find his way home in time, but the truth would be revealed. She sat next to him on the beach, telepathically communicating with him. He heard her words as a soft whisper. Even though she wasn't speaking, she spoke directly to his mind with her eyes. "On this journey, you will face many challenges. You will meet friends, foes, and foes pretending to be friends. You are a man of the sea, and I will guide you through this journey as I can see you've been robbed of your memory, your cargo, and your vessel. However, all is not lost. You have strong will, and you have love in your heart. You have a strong sense of intuition and your sense of purpose. Hold these close to your heart, and you do not belong in this town. This area has been cursed by a witch. There are layers of spells to be undone, and you do not belong in that kitchen. Your purpose here is much greater. Tomorrow is a big day. You must travel and find your way. People will try to stop you from going to the forest to meet the witch, but do not listen to them. They're all locked in their routines, under their own spells of city, there might be a handful of respectable people, but the rest are tangled up in bribes, curses, voodoo, and living out their past karmas while spiritually dead inside. What about Melody? That's not important right now, although she can help you and you must accept her help. But we are in love. I know, my darling, but please remember that things are not always what they seem. Be cautious when dealing with sirens. They also often have ulterior motives. I've seen many proud sailors fall at the hands and fins of sirens. Further, this is a time-sensitive matter. You have until I rise as the full moon, 13 more nights. That should be plenty of time, but please be swift and do not get distracted. Then, after delivering these messages, Zeb blinked and she was gone. Now risen high in the sky, she had become the waxing sliver once more. Another hallucination? It couldn't be. Now is the time, Melody said as she emerged to the surface. Come with me to the sea. I can breathe for you underwater like we did before. Come, Sebastian. She looked different this time in her human form. She persuaded him out into the tide. She bathed him in the sea and told them they were destined to be together forever under the surface. She pulled him into deeper water, past the drop-off point where the riptide lived. She pulled him under, breathing for him in a dreamscape fantasy underwater. Beautiful fish circled them. They chanted that he belonged with them now. Time disappeared. It could have been hours or just moments. She returned with him to the surface again. You must return to me before the full moon.